Hey, today is pub day for Truth, Lies, and the Questions in Between, and I'm celebrating by introducing it to you and doing a brief reading. Truth, Lies is an older YA adult crossover read set in 1973, the year of Watergate, the year the nation is really rocked by Senate hearings revealing one shocking thing after another about Nixon's administration, his campaign tactics, his thirst for retribution, the original DNC headquarters break-in, and then the ensuing cover-up with hush money payments. It's also the year the ratification of the Equal Rights Amendment, which was expected to go sailing through states because it had just had this extraordinary bipartisan, overwhelming majority vote in Congress, but it's derailed by women in kind of a backlash by homemakers against the women's liberation movement led by women like Gloria Steinem. A kind of save American motherhood and family crusade led by a conservative author named Phyllis Schlafly, who scared the bejeebies out of these women, telling them that the ERA would mean that they could no longer be stay-at-home moms. So it's a year that truth finally works in Watergate while disinformation prevails and derails feminist efforts to get a constitutional amendment guaranteeing women's rights. 1973 was also only the second year a handful of women, young women, were allowed to be Capitol Hill pages. There are only a handful in the Senate. But that means that because there's only a handful, they kind of, whether they intended to be or not, become these symbols for women's liberation while they're also witnessing the day-to-day Watergate proceedings. So that meant that my protagonist obviously needed to be a Senate page. So Patty is an 18-year-old moderate Republican whose own arc of growth and self-examinations really mirror the country's as she comes to question everything that she's previously believed about her parents, the president, politics, her boyfriend, her definition of womanhood, asking really hard questions about, is this true? What's truth versus lies versus mere deflections versus gaslighting? This is my third political era docudrama, and I call them that because I mix fiction with nonfiction. The nonfiction part is a photo essay laced throughout of events of 1973 in spreads like this one and that one. These books also I've designed to have two main kind of characters on the opposite sides of the political spectrum. In Truth Lies, it is Patty, this lovely, easily shocked, straight-laced, dutiful daughter, political wife wannabe, and Simone, who is this hip brainiac musician, a voracious reader and feminist, whose family could not possibly control her opinions or what's going to come out of her mouth if they had tried. They're thrown together because their mothers had been college roommates, whose dynamics and challenges through the novel very much mirror their daughters. I've chosen a scene from chapter 1 so that I really drop you straight into 1970s sensibilities. Get ready, and cultural norms and the frictions and the players of the novel. Things to know. During the week, Patty is going to live in a Capitol Hill boarding house for women, but on the weekend, she's going to stay with Simone's family. This particular weekend, her parents are also there because they've just attended Nixon's inauguration because her dad, a psychiatrist, is also a kind of big deal Midwest fundraiser. Simone is a piccolo player in the her high school marching band that's just marched in the parade the day before. I have to tell you, I really enjoyed writing Simone and Patty and their trajectory and their friendship, which goes from what you're going to witness, kind of this judgy, oh my God, I don't know what to think about you, hesitation, to what I hope is kind of a beautifully contrapuntal friendship. Not because that they have really agree on much of anything, but they stand by one another in crises that are brought on by the assumptions of men in their lives. This scene is their first real encounter and weekend together. It opens the morning after the inaugural balls. The two daughters and their moms are in the kitchen talking. Patty's mom is furious at her for being unbecoming and talking about women's unmentionables because Patty at the parade had been caught by a reporter who asked her what it was like to be a pioneer Senate page, and she was kind of like really shocked by the question and said, "It's not like I'm some brow burning liber." Aunt Marjorie is trying to get Patty out of hot water with her mother by talking rather excitedly about Betty Friedan, who she's just been reading, and this volunteer work that she's beginning to do with a brand new organization called the National Women's Political Caucus. Hit the button.